Holy Thursday is the night we do three important things. We remember that our faith tradition is deeply indebted to the Jewish people of God, particularly their celebration of Passover, their most important religious festival, and now mostly celebrated in family homes. Secondly, we honour the extraordinary moment when Jesus of Nazareth, the night before he was crucified, took some of the moments of that traditional Passover, the blessing and sharing of unleavened bread, and the blessing and sharing of the one cup, and gave them both a whole new story and meaning that we are still trying to understand and live fully 2,000 years later. And finally, the third thing we do is that we recall the moment when Jesus, that same night, took off his outer garments and knelt to wash the feet of all present, including those who were about to betray him. Sometimes the byline for Holy Thursday is the institution of the Holy Eucharist, but it is much more than this. It is a blueprint for our way of living as disciples, a blueprint as relevant today as ever. The washing of feet, the washing of hands, these simple, necessary things have become acts of saving lives. Let us take a moment to listen to two short excerpts from the readings that we would usually proclaim on Holy Thursday evening. First, we listen to an excerpt from Exodus.
Tell the whole community of Israel, on the 10th of this month, every one of your families must find for itself a lamb, one for each household. You shall keep it until the 14th day of this month, and then, that same night, you shall eat its roasted flesh with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. This is how you are to eat it, with your loins girded, sandals on your feet, and your staff in hand. You shall eat like those who are in flight. It is the Passover of the Lord.
Next, let's listen to an excerpt from the Gospel of John that we normally proclaim on Holy Thursday evening.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Jesus got up from table, removed his outer garment, and taking a towel, wrapped it around his waist. He then poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wash them with the towel he was wearing. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus answered, "At the moment you do not know what I am doing, but later you will understand." "Never," said Peter, "you shall never wash my feet." Jesus replied, "If I do not wash you, you can have nothing in common with me." "Then, Lord," said Simon Peter, "not only my feet, but my hands and my head as well." Jesus said, "No one who has taken a bath needs washing. He is clean all over. You too are clean, though not all of you are." He knew who was going to betray him. That was why he said, "Though not all of you are." When he had washed their feet and put on his clothes again, he went back to the table. "Do you understand," he said, "what I have done to you? You call me Master and Lord, and rightly so. If I then, the Lord and Master, have washed your feet, you should wash each other's feet. I have given you an example so that you may copy what I have done for you." The Gospel of the Lord.
Do you know what I have done for you? You call me your teacher and your Lord. If If I have washed your feet, so you must do as I have done for you. I have given to you an example. What I have done for you, you must do for one another. Call me your teacher and your Lord. If I have washed your feet, so you must do as I have done for you. Go and love as I have shown you. Love one another as I have loved you. Call me your teacher and your Lord. If I have washed your feet, so you must do as I have done for you.
Let us take a moment now of quiet to pray for those who are most in need of this kind of tenderness and care and love at this time.
Ant an chláinead ar deoru, agus bríthar déad agus, tá si de bheisne ag an rá. Ar nahar a tar neau, go nífor dainam, go dagad a riad, go neartad a hálar an talú mar níhir neau. Ar narin lehill trodúni niu, agus maidún ar bhéha, mar a wahim a genia da bhehin a féin, sa leik sin a gahaw a sir sin a walk.
Going to communion on Holy Thursday evening is always extra special because we are faithfully remembering the first time the bread of life was broken in this way and the cup of wine was passed around in this way, with this extraordinary new meaning, new language, new prayer and invocation. When Jesus, as always, first blessed the Father for the gifts of the bread and wine, and then effectively said, "As the wheat is crushed and milled, this is how I offer my body for you. As the grape is crushed and fermented, this is my blood, my lifeline, every drop of my love poured out for you and for all." This Holy Thursday night, we may not taste this bread nor sip of this cup together, but nonetheless, by virtue of the presence of the Holy Spirit within and without, we are in deep communion with this offering of the body and blood of Christ. Perhaps it is fitting then that we would close our Holy Thursday reflection with a poem. Some of you may know Brother Richard Hendrick, a Capuchin who lived in the friary at Ards for a few years before returning to his native Dublin recently. He wrote a poem called Lockdown a couple of weeks back, which went viral, as we used to say, without any awareness of the awful pun. And it has already been translated into scores of languages and was even recited on the CNN news one evening. Last week, he penned another lovely poem, this time about a chalice that he had used that morning to celebrate Mass. He then remembered that it was over 200 years old and had been used by friars when they were constantly on the run during penal times. After Mass that day, he tells us, in a time of quiet meditation, that he invited the chalice to speak to him. And this is what the chalice said back.